following presentation is brought to you by kmmedia.pro. Please visit kmmedia.pro for more information. Now stay right where you are as we present... Welcome to Positive Talk Radio, evolving ideas, one conversation at a time. Great guests, dynamic stories and interviews, plus new thoughts on a wide range of topics and concepts. I hope that you'll hang with me, Kevin McDonald, my friends, and of course, you. As together we work to understand why we are all here and what we can do to make our world a better place for all of us. To be happy, be kind, and live in peace together. Yep, that's Positive Talk Radio. And welcome to Positive Talk Radio for a Monday morning. Folks, I got a great show for you today, and provided that the internet, which we may have broken all by ourselves, is still there, but we're hoping that the internet's coming back, and Benny's doing a great job. We got a great show for you today. It's a musically based show, and we're going to be talking again with my good friend Tom Tikka. And he is working with, he's brought a couple of friends with him today, and we're going to be talking to them about the Born Free album and what that means. And then, Tommy, first of all, welcome to the show. How are you?
Doing good. We don't have snow yet in Finland, so I mean, I'm loving it at the moment. Yeah.
It's the middle of September. When does it start snowing there?
You know, it might start in October.
Oh, geez. And then it'll be white until April?
It could be, yeah. Sometimes we have it's winter for 6 months. It depends on the year. You know, you might get a 2-month winter, which is fantastic. But if the snow comes early, you're in deep shit. Sorry, probably shouldn't have said that.
That's your one
water.
warning.
You're
yeah,
in deep
yeah,
water.
True. Yeah. Way to start the show. All right. Swearing right out the gate.
Well,
all right. That's how we do it.
I got to tell you a story. Several years ago, I did a local music show on KKNW. And the way it works is there's certain words that you cannot say on radio. And there's like the 7 words you can't say on TV that George Carlin used to do. And so there's certain words you can't say. And this one guy and I was doing a live show of his concert, and he loved the F word. And he used the F word repeatedly. Now, we have got a 7-second delay, which means that if we hit the button, it'll take out a piece of, and Benny, correct me if I'm wrong, but it'll take out a piece of the show, like a second or so, where the offending piece is, or the offending word, and it'll take that out.
Yes, you are correct, sir.
Is that correct?
You are correct, sir.
Oh, very good. Well, he loved the F word. I kept reminding him not to use the F word, but he kept on using it, so they kept on having to hit the button until they exhausted the entire 7 seconds. And so then he said, the producer said, "I'm sorry, the show is over now."
Yeah, we got to go.
Because they get into big trouble with the FCC.
There's only so much you can take.
Yeah, if we say bad words, but that's okay. So, but we got a great show for you today.
So I'm not gonna get thrown out, right?
No,
not yet.
No,
I'll 2 Englishmen on here as well.
We've got 6 or 7 words yet to say before we get thrown off the air. So if we run out of the 7-second delay, we're in big trouble. But Tommy, I'd like you to introduce our guest for today.
Well, these are my fellow artists from the Born Free album, or the project. They're the Remnants, and I sent you guys their song for Amy.
We got it up.
Guys, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, we're not part of that project. We are the Remnants from Slough, UK.
Sorry?
But we're not part of that project. No, we're not part of that project.
Oh.
No, we are the Remnants from the UK. I mean, we've got 2 EPs and an album out, but I think there's been a few cross lines.
Okay. Well, you're on the show now anyway, so
But that's awesome. That's what I'm saying.
how did I get your though? I mean, I have the actual Remnants email address. Have I been emailing you about haven't you been wondering
gmail.com. Yeah, you've been emailing us to remnantsuk@gmail.com. I'm sure I sent you our song Frozen in Time.
Okay. I think that the original address that I was given must have been wrong because that's what I've been operating on. And
Yeah,
and
that's right. We were so stoked that it was going to be played on the radio in Seattle.
you know,
because we were big
but
bands in
do
Seattle,
you
even in the
but
90s.
do you know what? Do you know what though? The good news is that you at least you are from England, like the other guys.
Exactly. We're an acoustic duo. We got a style between grunge and country. We call it grungery.
Well,
Okay. This is incredible. But you know what though? Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah. The song is acoustic. That the one that I sent these guys. It's obviously the other remnants. I couldn't find any others. Well, I mean, maybe you're not. You know, I'm still sort of wondering because
There's
all
many
along I've had your
bands with the
pictures.
name The Remnants.
This is
So,
incredible. This is incredible. Yeah. Well, you know what though? You get to tell us a little bit about how you feel about climate change.
Oh wow! Seriously?
Yeah. Seriously.
Oh,
Yeah, because that's what we're doing here. We're
Right now we're
let
sitting
me-
1 mile from Heathrow Airport, so
Yeah, so
the
we-
plane's going over in 30 seconds.
many
You want to talk
planes
about climate
dropping
change?
blue ice
Yeah.
over us. Climate change, absolutely. I mean, it's got to be on number one on the agenda for every country in the world.
yeah,
including-
that's what we're
including
doing here
India.
actually today.
You know, China, all these people that are polluting and doing it.
yep. And the other thing, Tommy, that we were talking about before we got on the air is they're in the UK, and of course today was a big day in the UK because this was the funeral for Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
mean, we're 3 miles from Windsor. We saw the Queen go past earlier in her coffin.
Oh dear. So you're right. You're right there.
So there, yeah.
Um,
You can see Windsor Castle from my house.
I didn't even
Okay.
think I was a royalist until we lost her. I realised that she's been there our whole lives.
Suddenly she's gone.
Yeah.
That must be really weird for you guys because she's been on the throne for 70 years.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the strangest thing. We've all been waiting for King Charles, but never thought it would actually happen because, you know, there's the jokes, the English jokes about the royal family and King Charles. Well,
And we thought the Queen would have gone on forever, but obviously everyone's got an expiration date, we were saying.
Yeah. Well, it was really cool because King Charles now, when he gave
Yeah.
his first talk, he had 70 years to prepare for it. So it had to be good.
yeah. It'll be a great king, like you say. He's warmed up.
He's been warmed up. He knows what he's done about it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well, he's 73. How long is he going to sit on the throne, do you think?
They've got good genes, man, judging by his mum.
Well, I think the thing is, our generation will probably see 3 different monarchs now.
Yeah,
When's Charles going to take over? By the way,
he already has.
I know, but when has he been already? The inauguration and everything is.
No, there's been no
has happened?
coronation yet, but
Coronation, yeah, this
the
has
rules of
happened.
succession is once she dies, he becomes the king. So
Right. There's none of that.
that's it. No, that's
Okay.
it.
So
All
does
right.
he doesn't have a coronation or anything? Or
He will have, but obviously it's going to be after the funeral.
which was today.
Just today, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just wondering, is it like how does it usually work? Is it like a day after, a week after, a month after?
As
or-
soon as they die, then the next person is instantly the next king or queen. But you know, it doesn't get crowned until the coronation.
But I think
Right.
the poor old girl, she's been laying in state for 11 days now. She's travelled the width and depth of the country of Great Britain. And
What a place to die, Scotland.
yeah,
Come
what
on,
place?
man.
Yeah, now finally, she's been laid to rest today.
And,
Okay.
and she
What do you guys think about all the ceremony, all the pomp and ceremony, all the weird, archaic stuff that goes on?
Tommy, from your perspective,
What are you asking me?
from your perspective, what did you think of the pomp and ceremony and all the stuff that was going on for the? It's been
What's that
like a
from
week.
an
now.
American perspective.
Well,
Obviously,
no,
you
I
guys
mean,
don't
it's I think it's great. These people, I mean, don't they give their lives towards? They put their whole life toward this.
Yeah, it's
And
true.
Yeah.
I mean, it's I think that nowadays we're too quickly taking our opinion is that poor little rich girl with but the
Yeah.
fact of the matter is that I think that's a hard job, and just being watched all the time. Everybody's probably watched the series Crown, by the way.
Yeah.
I think I love it, and I think that after you've watched it, you don't really feel the same way about the royal family. You kind of understand that every job has a reality to it, and sort of downside of it. And you know, if you're a public figure, like for sure the royal family is, there's no privacy. You you just, you know, you're the queen.
Well put, Tommy. Well put.
We're very well put. As I said, in Windsor, you can walk straight past the castle. There's no guards. You know, they're there. You know, for everyone to see all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think from the Americans' perspective, the only thing that I can, in my lifetime, the only thing that I can compare it to is when John Kennedy was killed.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. It's
And
such
now,
an iconic figure, you know. It's quite similar, I suppose.
I think the whole of Great Britain that was watching the procession and the coffin today was probably thinking, blimey.
yeah, so it was on every channel and it dominated all the news.
Biggest police presence we've had ever for a state funeral.
There was the 2-minute silence was actually all the radio stations as well, TV stations, everything shut down for the whole 2 minutes. The whole
Wow.
country was gone.
Yeah, and it's not just England, it's or UK, it's the whole
It's
Dominion.
Scotland, Ireland,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, everywhere. I mean,
There's millions of people they literally shut down for 2 minutes and just were quiet, you know.
Well, now I wonder if Canada did that as well. If the entire realm.
Maybe, yeah.
There was in Canada. There was on the news. They had a couple of mounties that were there for the ceremony today.
Don't know.
That every Commonwealth country sent people as delegates to come, and there was a couple of mounties that were there.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting that I learned through this is that Great Britain is much bigger than just England, Scotland, and Ireland, and it's also Canada.
People don't like to talk about the empire anymore, but since the fall of the empire, you know, it's been crazy all around the world, isn't it?
Yeah, because don't you still have like 30 or 40 countries that are aligned with Great Britain?
Yeah, I mean, Great Britain brought sort of the modern world to the whole world, didn't it?
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and on that note, we want to keep the whole world together, which is what we're doing here today, because we're talking about global warming.
Breathing in kerosene fumes right now.
And Tommy, tell us, in case you guys are unaware of it, Tommy, tell them about the about Born Free and what you guys have got going on.
Yeah, please.
All right. So yeah. Okay. So I'm sorry. I'm loving this. Sorry for the this is my bad, but
this is live radio. This is what happens.
What a tremendous you know, it's good to meet you.
I'm having
Anyway.
a great time, guys.
I mean, yeah, dudes. I mean, like you already. I just find it hilarious because we really have been shooting messages back and forth, and I'm just wondering. And now I'm going to tell you what this is all about. So anyway, a few months ago or last spring, a bunch of musicians got together, led by Phil Gardner of Minds Behind the Music label, and we put together a charity album, a fundraiser, to raise funds for to fight climate change and global warming, and that's basically why Kevin and I have, you know, this whole theme of, you know, save the world, and the album's still doing pretty well, and we're still basically running interviews, and on the strength of that, and basically the album, all the proceeds are going to a foundation called Born Free Foundation. So every time a person somewhere in the world downloads even one song, they're contributing towards fighting climate change. And as a matter of fact, right now we're already thinking about doing a third album, but maybe we'll get to it, maybe we won't. But it's in the work. I took it seriously. I already wrote a song for it and recorded it. So, you know, if it doesn't happen, I'll be disappointed, right? But you know, on that note, if just, you know, people who are listening, Google this or go to Spotify, iTunes. It's Born Free, and the album's name is Born Free, and it's out on Minds Behind the Music label. find the album, download it, take part in this fundraiser, and help the planet.
And now, since since we thought you were somebody else, but you're who you are. And by the way, I'd like to thank. We have been putting Benny through the paces to get everything ready.
I think I got the right one though. Yeah, I'm still not off the hook yet because I have no idea what we're supposed to send to me too.
Well, I mean,
we should be okay.
So tell us about the song that we think we're going to play.
Which one is it?
The Frozen in Time.
Frozen in Time?
Yeah.
Frozen in Time.
That's your song, right?
EP is self-recorded EP, self-produced. And I'd like to see what you think, really.
It's a song by Alex wrote. It's just a beautiful song. He's wrote it, and in fact, he played almost every instrument on the track. So it means something. It's heartfelt, and we just hope you enjoy it.
Yeah. Thanks very much.
Why don't we go ahead and play it right now, and you can pick it up on Spotify if you want to go there, and you can download it. Please download it. Don't just listen to it. Please download it and pay the artist. So, Benny, with that, let's play the song.
Sand through my fingers, went through my head, you're gone. So far away from me now, can you still even see my face? Now I don't feel alive. Feels like I'm frozen in time, yeah. And when it's darkest at night, I drink, dance, and get high. Raise my palms to the sky, gulping wine as I cry, throwing rocks at the moon. Feels like it ended too soon. Drink, dance, and get high. Seeing the sun through a mirror, is hearing the quiet through the door. You're gone, so far away from me now. Can you still even hear my voice? And this don't feel alive. Feels like I'm frozen in time, yeah. But the hour hand keeps ticking, and the years just sweep on by. And you smile with every newborn, with every friend lost you'll cry. Feels like it ended too soon for us, yeah. Drink, dance, and get high. When it's darkest at night, I drink, dance, and get high. Raise my palms to the sky, gulping wine as I cry, throwing rocks at the moon. Feels like it ended too soon. Drink, dance, and get high before we have to say goodbye. Goodbye.
And that is the Remnants from the UK, and that's a very
thank you so much.
That's a very nice. That's a very nice song. Well done, gentlemen. Well done. And we've also, I got to tell you, we've also got a couple. There's a mystery artist named the Remnants, and we've got a song for them too, and that's on the album. And then Tommy also has a song that's on the album, and I'd like to play both of those during the course of the hour if I can, if that would be all right with everybody, and because that'll be a great deal of fun. What'd you think, Tommy?
Yeah, that was a good one. I got to tell you, I was a little bit scared before Benny put it on because it could have been anything. It could have been anything.
Imagine how we feel, Tommy.
Hey, compliments from me. It's like,
And thank you for not using the 7 words you can't say on the radio.
Right, exactly.
We are English. We can't promise that.
Hey, that's what we got. Hey, Kevin, that's what we got to do from now on. Every time we swear, we'll just say, "Hey, we're English."
Yeah. have a remnants jar.
Yeah, hung out with these guys for an hour. Look what happened to us, right?
Now, yeah, since you guys are actually from England and you're English, what does the term "bloody" mean?
Anything.
If you're bloody good,
if you're bloody good,
bloody marvelous.
bloody marvelous. Stub your toe, you say bloody hell. It's like what Tommy said. The S word. It's an ambiguous meaning.
It's like, oh, bloody hell. It could be anything then.
No, that was Australian.
Oh, that's I get them all mixed up. I can do a Southern boy accent if you'd like to do that. We can talk about that.
Do that.
Yeah, Leonard Skinner, Southern Soul, yeah.
Because that's from America, the land of the free, the home of the, well, I don't know what we are anymore.
Hey, but I did have
I've got 7 words.
I do have a question for the remnants.
Good.
How's the when kids go to school in England? Are these environmental issues a big thing in the curriculum?
Yeah, actually, I've got 3 kids. I've got a 12-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 2-year-old, and they obviously where we live, we have the 2 of the main motorways, the M4 and the M25, either side of us, and the airport literally there. So it's a big issue where we live, especially with water quality and air quality and sound pollution. It's a big deal.
Are those the air quality and pollution?
I believe. Don't quote me on this. I believe there's a higher level of bronchial infections and bronchial.
Right. I was just going to say
around our area. Yeah.
That's like that's the worst thing that's happening sort of in your neighborhood right now.
Well,
right?
also there's a lot of checks from the Environment Agency with water quality, because obviously the heavy metals fall down into the water, so it's a big deal around here. Yeah.
Do you have Kevin? Do you have any of that in the States?
Oh yeah. Well, we have lakes that are drying up, and there's a big lake, like you may have heard of the Colorado River. And it is like the lowest that it's ever been, and that feeds the water consumption for the entire Southwest.
Yeah, there's a massive drought across the whole UK at the moment. The weather's been so hot. There's a massive drought across the whole UK.
Yeah, it's on the news here. Is it still continuing? Is it still continuing?
Yeah, we live between 2 huge reservoirs as well, and they're so low. It's crazy at the moment.
Go ahead.
Kevin, sorry.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, it is so bad here that there's a lake right outside of Las Vegas. Yeah. I don't know if you know the history of Las Vegas, but there's a lot of, used to be gangster stuff there.
Yeah, Bugsy Siegel and whatnot.
Yes, all them guys. Well, the water level's getting so low, they're finding barrels with bodies in them that were sunk in the water in Lake Mead. What did I say?
Surely there's a bit of water still in the barrel.
Yes, indeed. So they're finding things that have been underwater for like years, but now the water level's going down so much. So it's where I live in Seattle, we always hopefully will have enough, but yeah. In there are parts of the country, Tommy, that are in a desperate situation.
It's the same here, yeah.
Yeah, the mafia thing just brought back a memory from a long time ago. When I was traveling in California, I lived in San Francisco, but it was the first time that I went to Death Valley. And on the way to Death Valley, before you get to the actual park, I wanted to stop and get gas because you don't get that many gas stations there. I don't know if you've ever been, Kevin, you probably have. But I mean, it's you don't want to go there with even a half empty tank. But anyway, so I stopped at this a gas station very close to where the park begins, and it was sort of a gift shop as well. And I wandered in, and there was a guy selling stuff, and And I was just asking about if there's a restaurant, just if, anywhere I can eat, because I was starving. And they just got to talking. It's like, I used to own a restaurant in Las Vegas, and and I just jokingly said, because it was freaking in the middle of nowhere, just there was nothing. So I jokingly said that, who the hell did you piss off that you ended up here? and the guy went like white, looked at me like, who are you? And I'm like, I realized at that moment that was a joke on my part, but that probably was the truth. So I said, just a guy who wants gas and a hot dog, all right, just to make sure that nothing bad happened to me. I didn't want to end up in those barrels that Kevin was talking about. But it was such an, these moments that sometimes happen to you. And they're so weird. You cannot, it just, honestly, I had no idea, or still don't have any idea who he was, but that was just to make him smile, because that's the kind of guy I am, just joking around. But my God, I got like, whoa, just thinking very quickly.
You make the same mistake in London.
Right. Just thinking very quickly. I wonder if he's got a gun. If he's got a gun, it's like, just a customer. Give me some gas and I'll be on my way.
Oh, that is something. That is something. But
I was a young kid then,
Yeah. Well, and global warming, and there are people that still in this fine country of ours, there are people who still say that it's a hoax, and I can't believe that they would do that. But I mean, heck, half of Pakistan is underwater.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, at the moment it's terrible there, isn't it? Yeah.
So things are happening that have never happened before. And I don't know about you guys, but in the news here, people say all the time, this is unprecedented. This has never happened before. Yeah. And it's happening all the time. And the heat wave in England, my son is there, and he's in the Air Force, and he's telling me that it's just almost unbearable.
It reached 42 degrees. And obviously here, we have Australians making jokes on our part saying our deal will get made. It's 42 degrees. But where they live, their houses are fully air conditioned, and everywhere they go is fully air conditioned. Whereas here, we're set up for cold weather. Our houses are fully insulated, and it's 42 degrees. It's like an oven in your living room. It's crazy.
Well,
how are people responding to that? Kevin just said that these are unprecedented heat waves. How do people respond to that? Are people concerned? Or are some people just saying, okay, so it's just not? People aren't just saying that it's.
We had messages come across the TV and across the radio saying, "Go and check on your elderly relatives and friends, and if you're ill, then stay indoors." You don't get that in England. In England, it's just normally pissing down with rain. You don't get 42 degrees.
So I guess what I'm asking is, folks understand that global warming is not a hoax now, right?
Yeah. My children are talking about it constantly. Yeah.
Now, when you say 42 degrees, that's Celsius. Does that translate into Fahrenheit? Do you know?
Like 100 million.
110 Fahrenheit.
A lot.
110 Fahrenheit. Now,
that's Florida. That's Florida for you, by the way.
Yeah, and obviously here it's a dry heat. Here it's dangerous in the UK.
Yeah. Now, Benny, correct me if I'm wrong, sir, but I believe that we broke the record this year for the most days over 90. Is that true?
Yeah, consecutively, I believe, in a couple months. Or there's a stat that we did crush after the last 20, 30 years or something.
And what's 90 in Celsius?
Let's see here. I'm trying to do math here on the old computer. Let's see. I gotta lower my computer here. Well, you said 42 earlier. That was 107.
Yeah, it's like 30, 35, so 36, something.
Yeah,
like that.
32. 32 is about 90.
Yeah, we just simply over here. We're not set up for that. At all.
Well, you're like us. We don't have, most of the houses in the Northwest do not have air conditioning.
I've read Stephen King books. I know about the rain. I know about the rivers.
Yeah, but it hasn't rained here in a long time either. So I mean, it's everything is changing, and that's why this album is so important. And it's called Born Free again. It's the second one. There are two, and Tommy actually plays on this one. And another band that you may have heard of called The Remnants. Another guy, these other guys.
Don't worry about them.
So, but Tom, now tell us about the song that you wrote for the album. And you wrote it specifically for the album.
Yeah, I wrote it specifically for the album. I heard that through Michael Stover, who was handling my business then. I heard that this guy Phil Gardner is looking for a song for a fundraiser album to fight climate change, and it was something that I've always been very concerned about the environment, and I mean lately just been dead scared, to be honest with you. And so I wanted to contribute, and I offered him an older song that I had written called Fly to the Moon. It was sort of Save the Planet type of song as well, but it had been released already. So Phil said that no can do. It's got to be a new song because this was already published. And since it's a fundraiser, we're going to run into all sorts of problems, which is true, obviously. And then but he said that, send me a song that's as good as this one, and it's going to be on the album. And then I got to work. And I collaborated on the track with my wife because not just I mean, she's a brilliant writer. She writes really great stuff and great lyrics, great melodies. And I was really overworked at the time. I don't even remember what all I had going on. But I remember I went downstairs and I said to her, because my studio's upstairs, it's like, how about if you write the lyrics for this song, mostly anyway. Because I was dry at the moment, and she said, well, okay, well, just give me 15 minutes. And then she came back upstairs with this, like, a bloody hell, it's like you got Venice there and Fisherman. This is great stuff. Yeah. And so then, because we were on a schedule, and so she gave those to me, and I sang the song. It was all done basically because everything else was recorded the music already. Sang the song. It was done basically in, 45 minutes, the lyrics and the vocals. And there are harmonies, of course, that then I did next day, but it was all done very quickly. And I offered it to Phil. He said, it's a go, love the song. And to this day, I've always had mixed feelings about the track because it was, I was under a lot of pressure to get it done in time, but now enough time has passed that I listened to it the other day and I thought, well, that's not half bad, is it?
With fresh ears.
Yeah, with fresh ears. Yeah. I like the African things in the beginning, by the way. That's my wife's bit in the song as well. She, and so she actually she collaborated with me on that track, truly. And I thank her for that. I think she did a fantastic job, and hopefully so did I.
Well, and the name of the song, Tommy, is
Venetian Rubber Boots.
Venetian Rubber Boots. And by the way, and you guys may not know this, but Tommy just won an award. He won the International Singer-Songwriter Association Foreign Singer of the Year because he's in Finland, although he...
Mate. Good on you.
Hey, thanks. Thanks, guys.
So that's really cool too. Benny, I know being the producer that you are, that it's all queued up, ready to go.
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay.
Love you, Benny.
We love you.
I love you too.
Can we go ahead and play that song, please, sir?
Concrete rules for playground stood. Don't recognize the old neighborhood. Gone are parks and trees. People call development. To me it looks just like cement. I miss the laughs and screams. Don't you think that we should change our scene? But we're blind, yeah. Learn to preserve the village green. Men are tried, yeah. Why is it so hard to do what's right? It seems we manufacture broken dreams. Our lives learn. We got just one. sometimes even in cafes. The dress code's rubber boots. Waters rising, the fishermen remember seashells in the sand. Now half the shore is gone. Don't you think that we should change our scene? But we're blind, yeah. Learn to preserve the village green. Men are tried, yeah. Why is it so hard to do what's right? It seems we manufacture broken dreams. Our lives burn. We got just one
Individually packed, take a great crap, deliver it to your front door. Never mind that carbon footprint. Tomorrow, you'll want more.
Don't you think that we should change our scene? But we're blind, yeah. Learn to preserve the village green. Men are tried, yeah. Why is it so hard to do what's right? It seems we manufacture broken dreams. Our lives burn. We got just one. Why is it so hard to do what's right? It seems we manufacture broken dreams. Our lives burn. We got just one.
And that's Tommy Tikka. You know, Tommy, that sounds like, hold on. There we go.
There you go. Beautiful, Tommy. Beautiful, man. Love the horn
Thanks.
section. Gorgeous.
Thanks.
It's like the Beatles.
Yes. Are you going to make a video out of that? You should.
We were wondering about that, but then we haven't yet.
More than
it-
welcome to come to my house and video some airplanes and some M25.
Sorry, that was awesome, man.
That was great. Beautiful.
Thanks.
That sounded like, to me, that sounded like a cross between something that John Lennon would have done, or George Harrison,
Yeah.
and also the Beach Boys.
Yeah, I was about to say the Beatles, the Beatles,
harmonising.
and REM.
Yes.
It's weird though. This REM, I gotta say, everybody everywhere, ever since I began my career some 20 years ago, have always said that my songs sound like the REM.
Nothing wrong
And-
with that, man.
No,
Nothing
not
wrong
not at all. I got all their albums. It's weird though, because I never consciously thought that I sound anything
It's
like
the pitch
that.
of your voice. It's beautiful. It sounds very Michael Stipe. It sounds very ethereal.
Well,
It's lovely.
that is a high compliment. Thank you.
And he also does all the instrumentation, all the backup vocals, and all the lead singing. So, and the writing, and you do it all. And it's just amazing. I don't know how you.
It's not a pace of life in Sweden, man.
So that's awesome. So thank you guys for being here. Even I don't,
I'm having a great time. This is brilliant. Thank you very much. This is great.
No, this was fantastic. I think it's incredible. Worked out really well though.
But
I think this time we've got a song that we released in our first EP 3 years ago called Bleed.
Which is very, very a lot along the climate
Climate
change
change.
line.
Okay.
but I gotta ask you guys.
Yeah, the Remnants Bleed. Check it out because
It would fit perfectly with what you're doing.
yeah, definitely. And
I gotta ask you though, when he started sending you emails, did you have any idea who he was?
But the thing was, because I've been dealing with the emails and he sent it to me. I thought, because I've sent out thousands of MP3s
millions of them
to radio stations all around the world, and Tommy got in contact with, I must have heard it, fantastic. I've read something off the last EP.
But no.
But so we've hijacked the entire show. And just two people, the Remnants UK.
I'm loving
fantastic.
And,
it. Song, which was great.
and I got to tell you, you can't see it because this is just audio because it's going out in the airwaves. But they've got a poster of Nirvana in their backing, which of course came from the great Seattle area. So.
Yeah. The other ones are from our old band. These are from old gig posters from our first band.
I'll tell you what, the thing with Seattle, the connection for the pair of us.
Yeah, being 80s, 90s kids.
Because
which is a buzz.
In the 80s, I was in the Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue, Whitesnake, Iron Maiden, and then Pearl Jam, Nirvana come on the scene. Soundgarden were already there. Alice in Chains were already there.
Yeah.
Mother Love Bone before the Untimely Death of Andy Wood. That is a huge influence of what we do, coming from your gorgeous city in Seattle.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, and you know, Tommy, you need to hook these guys up for if they do a third album, they need to contribute to it.
Oh yeah, and we'll definitely. I mean, I one of the best things about life, I think, are things like this. Just
especially with music as well. This is what happens with music.
You know, I'm sort of a person who loves these sort of coincidences or mishaps or whatever you want to call them. Serendipity, I suppose.
We'll write a song for Tommy. We'll write a song just for Tommy. And it won't be a rip-off.
Yeah, we'll keep emailing, and this was fantastic. And as it happens, I'm basically part of Minds Behind the Music label now. I partnered up with Phil, so we're also looking for new music to release. And now that I know that you have an environmental type of song in exist, I mean, somewhere in your catalog, we'll talk some more.
That'd be amazing.
And I would just like to say now, Benny, what I'd like to do is, can you set up Fire and Ice to play? Do you still have that one? To play before we go away? And there's a story behind that, and that is that I went to Tommy because I wanted to have a song that I could use for all of my shows, my podcasts, and
by the Remnants.
Yes, and so he brought a song out that has not been released, and it's not anywhere, and he's letting me have it for the moment, and it's called Fire and Ice, and we're going to leave the show. As we go out, we'll listen to that on our way out. So I want everybody to know that's what I'd like to do. Is that all right with you guys?
Definitely, absolutely. I'm intrigued now.
It's a beautiful song, and I'm going to use it in a myriad of ways. I've been lazy and haven't got it done yet, but I will. And I'm going to do it today. That's what I said yesterday, but that's okay.
I gotta say something about the song though.
Yes.
That will have a music video, and it'll feature my kids playing pirate. We got great. I got my 4.
Surely playing Vikings, not pirate. Come on.
All right, my 5 and 7-year-olds. They were fantastic. We dressed them up as pirates, and we kind of directed it where the story of the song was basically what they were acting out, and it turned out great. Final touches, Kevin. I'll send it to you.
You got to see it.
I would love to have it.
What are their names?
Emil and Henry.
Emil and Henry. There you go.
Hing's name.
Hing's name, yeah. He's very much aware of that, and he's very proud of it. Yeah.
And of course he's got 6 kids, so he's got.
I got 6 boys. 6 boys.
Viking blood, man. Viking genes.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Viking genes.
Do we have a time for a bit of a story still, Kevin?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we have like 10 minutes still.
I might have already actually told this because I don't know, but my dad, I remember my dad talking to his friends and they were talking about what their sons were doing, and all my dad's friends were saying, my son's a doctor. The other one of the friends said my son's a lawyer, and this continued. There were like 6 guys, and my dad's turn finally comes, and he could have said anything like my son won an award, or he's done a lot in music, he's been a businessman, but instead he said, my son's got 6 kids.
Yeah.
He knows his stuff. My dad's like, he knows his stuff, right? And all the other guys were like, okay, yeah, whatever, respect, right? Nobody said anything,
My dad was Irish from the Republic of Ireland. He was one of 16.
Oh, yeah.
So that's
I couldn't do that.
My poor grandfather.
Hey,
Your
Kevin,
poor grandmother.
Kevin, how many kids did you have?
And I'm 6'3". Well, imagine if it went back that far, being all big boys.
Boy, no kidding. I just got 2, but one is in your land. He's in Great Britain. He's at the Air Force Base just south of London.
Where? Northolt.
Huh?
Northolt Air Force Base.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, it could be wrong, but
that's the home of the SAS. Your son's obviously doing all right.
Yes, he is. He's a mechanic and engineer for them. So, so it's been really hot there.
Work for.
Yeah. So it's been really hot there. So,
it's crazy there. Yeah.
Yeah,
but we live in a tiny little village. There are 3 villages near us. I went for a drive today, and I must have seen 2,000 police officers for obviously the Queen coming through. But obviously, it's a lot of work, isn't it? Those boys are. Everybody else has got a day off. It's a bank holiday. They're all still working.
So I got to ask you guys, how come you drive on the wrong side of the road?
Listen, we invented it. You drive on the wrong side of the road.
Take that, Kevin.
Football is football. It's not American football.
No, see, this is what I'm concerned, because I've been to London many times, and I've never rented a car there. And I want to go back. Next time I go back, I'd like to rent a car. But I'm so scared of the fact that you guys drive on the wrong side of the road. I don't want it to be my last trip. You know what I mean?
Don't be scared of driving on the wrong side of the road. Be scared of roundabouts.
Yeah, roundabouts. And taxi drivers, black cabs. Yeah.
Oh,
gladiators of the roads.
I tell you, my son said, Tommy said, my son said the same thing to me. He said, Dad, you can come, but I don't think you should drive here.
Honestly, our roads are like your little tracks that lead through the woods. Our roads are so small.
And then he was telling me that they drive on the wrong side of the road, and the roads are kind of narrow, and everybody goes 60 miles an hour.
In a Range Rover. Coming the opposite way, yeah.
That's one of the things my sons have learned. I mean, they speak American English, but they watch these British commercials, right? Because they're on YouTube, and my son said to me, "Is like, what's this car that they keep advertising?" I was like, "What car?" Range Rover. And I'm like, "All right, yeah, we call it Range Rover." And it's like, but that was spot on. It was perfect.
We call them Chelsea tractors.
Right. I'll tell him that. He'll
Chelsea tractors. You go to London, and it's the biggest thing in the world, driven by the smallest little lady going to lunch in a military vehicle.
Well, I got to tell you, this has been one of the best hours we've done in a long time. This was fun.
I had a great time, man. This is brilliant.
And I want to thank you guys for coming here. It's even though you didn't know you were coming here to do what we're talking about.
Do you record the show?
Of course. It'll be a podcast.
Could you send it to us?
I will. Oh, and I wanted to, and by the way, Tommy also is working on a book, and his dad, and his book is coming out soon. But you know what we're doing, Mr. Tikka? My little company is, I interviewed a gal that has a book that's called Identity from the Holocaust to Home, and it was about her dad who survived the death camps for 5 years and escaped. Wow. And he escaped by hiding underneath dead bodies and stuff, and his whole life story. And so we've created a 3.5-minute movie trailer about that. So I want to offer that to you when your book is complete, to do that, and I'll voice it, and it'll be a video and stuff like that. It'll be really cool. So that's
fantastic.
That's what we be doing and stuff like that. And by the way, I don't know you, the remnants. I don't know your names. Can you tell us your names?
I'm Alex, and this is Mark.
Mark and Alex.
Yeah.
Very good. And it's you guys are. It's just a pleasure having you here.
I love the
Thank you.
formal
Thank you.
introduction. I love the
You're the
formal introduction at the very end of the interview. Like,
Yeah.
let's just go for it. It's
Well,
all
I mean,
good.
it took us a while because I love it. Before we started, you were kind of like, "What song is that?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
we'll figure it out."
He did one years ago with another group called For Amy, and I was like, dude, that's not us.
Kevin, I also want this episode, and I want the videos. Please send it to me too. This is it's one of those episodes that I have
We're
a
all going to be
feeling
famous
of.
on YouTube from the back of this.
Yes, and unfortunately we didn't record the video. Unfortunately,
But audio, all audio.
Oh, sorry. Oh.
it's
Ken,
audio.
You let me down right at the end.
But we'll send you the audio
The
and
audio's fine. It'll be great. It'll be-
And
Thank you so
Yeah.
much, guys.
I actually create a 50-minute video that goes with the audio that's how it gets on YouTube and all that. So we'll be putting that up. We'll be putting this episode up on YouTube as well.
Fantastic.
And stuff. So this has been great fun. But we've got just a couple minutes left. But Tommy, let's go talk about Born Free again, so that people get that.
An album we released, me and a couple other environmentally people who are concerned about the environment, musicians, recorded an album for Minds Behind the Music label for Phil Gardner, who had already released another album before. The first album, one album came out before this one, and he's released books. He knows many celebrities, and they've auctioned off their stuff also to support the Born Free Foundation. And all the proceeds from the album, for the second album called Born Free, obviously it's the same name, will go to the Born Free Foundation. And so whoever wants to contribute towards saving the environment, you can go to iTunes, download the album, download even one song, and you've chipped in.
Oh, well, that's an amazing thing to do, Tommy. That's great.
Thanks.
I want to thank the Remnants for being here, Tommy Tikka for being here. Tommy's going to come back with hopefully somebody that is on the album next.
The next guest will definitely
as much fun.
Yeah.
and that will be in October, and so I hope you'll stay with us for that. And guys, if you'll stay and listen, and I'm going to have Benny go out, take us out with the song as much as he can before the show ends. But I just wanted to say this is Fire and Ice. And by the way, be kind to one another, because each other's all we got. So
I think we can just all do better.
we can all do better. Yes, indeed. Bloody hell, we can do better.
Drop the T, better. Drop the T, better.
Better. Thank you.
Yay. Woo!
I bought a bird to tell me where to go, as if I didn't know the road was new. A winding path, the map showed a photograph of where the X was marked, stood a marabou. We fought fire and ice. Odysseys of different sorts. We fought fire and ice. Crew was just my kid brother and me. We fought fire and ice. The rustling of the leaves in this jungle world of green. We were merely thieves. We fought fire and ice. Our bunk beds had a precious view, a skeleton or two would fake us out. All we dreamed of gold, stones of emerald green, a treasure unforeseen. Let Holy shout. We fought fire and ice. blank. You parrot feed. We fought fire and ice. Odysseys of different fronts. We fought fire and ice. My crew was just my kid brother and me. We fought fire and ice. Where we ran into the room and lost our shovels too. This surprised the crew. We fought fire and ice.